Laura Vandervoort in Jigsaw, the eighth chapter in Lionsgate's Saw franchise. Brooke Palmer, Lionsgate Entertainment, Los Angeles. George Clooney served up a comedic drama that gave Paramount Pictures the worst wide-release opening total in its history. Steven Spielberg's production company dared a military drama that went widely ignored. The Weinstein Company offloaded a horror movie in very limited release and took in a grand total of $742. Put simply, Hollywood had another horrific weekend at the box office. The number one movie was Jigsaw, the eighth installment in the Saw horror series. It took in about $16.3 million, according to ComScore, which compiles box office data, tying Saw vie for the lowest opening in the franchise, after adjusting for inflation. Analysts had anticipated ticket sales of roughly $20 million for Jigsaw, which received poor reviews. Lionsgate, which spent a modest $10 million to make Jigsaw, also had the number two movie. Taylor Perry's Boo 2 A Madea Halloween collected an estimated $10 million, for a 12-week total of $35.5 million. According to ComScore, domestic ticket sales for October totaled $539 million, a 13% decline from the same month last year, when dramas like The Accountant and The Girl on the Train got turnstiles clicking. Explanations for the downturn include the escalating popularity of services. Stranger Things 2 arrived on Netflix on Friday, and subpar offerings from Hollywood. Mr. Clooney's film, Suburbicon, received a D- grade from ticket buyers in CinemaScore exit polls. After years of focusing on big-budget fantasy movies, Hollywood may also have inadvertently trained people to think of movie-going as less of a pastime and more as a special event. Next weekend, Disney will release Thor Ragnarok in theaters, and ticket sales are expected to be massive. In partial release overseas over the weekend, Thor Ragnarok collected $107.6 million, beating Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in some countries. Contributing to dismal weekend results in North America was Suburbicon, which is Mr. Clooney's sixth film as a director and his fourth misfire. Bludgeoned by critics, a tonal disaster from start to finish is how RogerEbert.com put it. Suburbicon cost about $25 million to make, and took in roughly $2.8 million in the United States. It was distributed into 2,046 theaters, giving Paramount its worst wide-release result on record. Suburbicon is George Clooney's sixth film as a director and his fourth misfire. Jordan Strauss envisioned Suburbicon is not a financial catastrophe for Paramount. After initially passing on the script, the studio ended up paying about $10 million for domestic rights. Foreign distributors covered the balance of the cost. The problem is that Mr. Clooney, an Oscar-winning actor and producer, has now had more misses than hits as a director, which is usually when studios cut off the money. Especially if you are a female director. Mr. Clooney's last film, The Monuments Men, was also a critical and commercial disappointment in 2014. So was Leatherheads in 2008. His first stab at directing, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, got good reviews in 2002 but fizzled at the box office. Mr. Clooney's successes as a filmmaker have been The Ides of March in 2011 and Good Night, and Good Luck, for which he received an Oscar nomination for Best Director in 2006. Also flopping over the weekend was Thank You for Your Service, which cost Mr. Spielberg's Amblin Partners $20 million to make and took in roughly $3.7 million. Thank You for Your Service, which received mostly positive reviews and was distributed by Universal Pictures, may have suffered from a lack of audience interest in films involving the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. American Sniper was a smash hit in 2014, but ticket buyers have rejected entries like Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk 2016, Green Zone 2010, In the Valley of Ella 2007, Lions for Lambs 2007 and Home of the Brave 2006. Also notable Amityville: The Awakening, a low-budget horror movie from Dimension, a division of the embattled Weinstein Company, and Blumhouse Productions, was made available in 10 theaters on Saturday. The fate of this movie, which was released on Google Play for free earlier this month, was decided long before the sexual harassment crisis that has enveloped the Weinstein Company in recent weeks. But it nonetheless adds to the poor recent track record of Dimension, run by Bob Weinstein. A version of this article appears in print on October 30, 2017, on page C3 of the New York edition with the headline Jigsaw is #1 at week box office.